We continue to cover the murder trial of 4-year-old Codi Bigsby. Jurors heard emotional testimony from Codi's 7-year-old brother today.
And the boy says he last saw Codi when he was 4 years old. Angelique, Arintok, and Dan Kennedy spent the entire day in court for that testimony, and they join us live tonight. And Dan, this was an emotional day for everyone in the courtroom.
It was a tough one. There were tears in the courtroom, just a very heavy, somber feeling throughout. But I can tell you, we are making some headway in this trial. The prosecution has now called 10 witnesses, but perhaps the biggest one yet is actually the smallest. As you mentioned, Corey's second grader, a now 7-year-old, testified and took the stand. These are my 3 takeaways from the day. Codi's brother, that 7-year-old, testified that about the last time he saw his brother, he described that, quote, he looked dead with a red and bruised face. Number 2, the defense then implied lies and inconsistencies in the child's testimony. For example, the boy told prosecutors that Corey would spank Codi and only Codi often, and then an hour later the boy told the defense attorney that Corey actually did spank him when he was younger too. Number 3, the next witness called up was a CPS worker, and the prosecutors used her to try and restore credibility to the child's testimony. And sure enough, some of her interview notes with the child from 2 years ago matched what the child said today under oath. My colleague Angelique Arintok was also in the courtroom and breaks down a little further some of the things I just said.
Yeah, Dan, you heard it too. Multiple supporters of Codi Bigsby sniffled while they sat in the pews. The mother of Codi Bigsby and the 7-year-old boy who testified today was also in the gallery. She watched with emotion while watching her son testify for more than 2 hours. At one point, Codi's brother said he didn't like living with his father, Codi Bigsby, because he lied about Codi. The second grader described his younger brother Codi as his best friend. He nicknamed him Coco, but there were times he said their father, Codi Bigsby, would put Codi, quote, on punishment. The 7-year-old said Bigsby spanked Codi often and only Codi out of all of the siblings. Throughout his son's testimony, Bigsby didn't appear to show emotion. He leaned back in his chair and yawned at some points. The boy testified about the last time he saw Codi. It wasn't clear exactly when, but the boy said he was 4 years old. Based on his birthday, that would have been in 2021. He said he couldn't wake Codi up even after shaking him and calling his name. He said Codi's eyes were open and his face was red, dry and bruised. The boy said, I was thinking that he was dead. When he went to tell Bigsby about this, he recalled Bigsby saying, nothing is wrong with Codi. Like Dan mentioned earlier, a social worker also took the stand. Her testimony lined up with how the 7-year-old retold seeing Codi's allegedly lifeless body. Late in the day today, a former Hampton police detective who served as lead investigators in Codi's case also testified. He referred to one of the different versions of Bigsby's jailhouse confessions about Codi's death, which we've reported before. The veteran investigator said an August 2022 statement from Bigsby led them to a 2-day search, Dan, in Prince George's County, Maryland. But as you know, that search, along with several hundreds of tips, have come up empty in the search for Codi.
Still no sign of that little boy. Angelique, thank you for that report. So where do we go from here? Well, tomorrow we will resume court at 9 a.m. It's likely the prosecution will wrap up its case, or at least wrap up its witnesses tomorrow at some point, and then the defense gets its chance to go. And after the defense presents its case, the jury will receive its instructions, and then they will go into deliberation and decide the fate of Codi Bigsby on this charge of murder and concealing a body. Reporting live in Hampton for Angelique Arintok, I'm Dan Kennedy.
All right, Dan, good job out there. We appreciate that. And of course, we're going to continue to follow this trial until it ends. Be sure to tune in on air, online, and on the 13 News Now Plus app.